Okay, are we live? I have absolutely no idea. I'm gonna have to check on my phone real quick. Hopefully, we've gone live though, and this will be hopefully quite a fun series to do. And it'd be interesting to actually do a live stream because I've never done that. I've done a little bit on Twitch like a year or two ago. I don't know if those videos are still even findable. I don't know if we're live. Yeah, I can't tell. So it'd be great if someone could let me know. Let me message the Discord real quick. I've got a Discord in case you want to join. How do I do this? I should be better at this, definitely. I am not that technically savvy with this kind of thing. What is going on? Well, if I turn this into an actual video, then I'm going to have to cut this bit because this is not entertaining. Not entertaining, but I've got to figure this out because I don't even know what's happening here. I need like a link or something. I'm trying to find a link. Give me a minute, guys. Give me a minute. Trying to check my YouTube to see. Well, I'm going to have to go on another account and check it. See if we are actually live. Come on, what's happening? What's the situation? Are we live or not? I don't think so. I don't think we are. Which is, not amazing. Definitely not amazing. We should be on. I don't see why not. Okay. I don't know what's happening. If anyone is in here, please let me know whether this is working or not. Because I don't think it is. Which is annoying. I don't know what I've done wrong here.
Hello and welcome.
Very confusing. Swear Twitch is probably easier, in fairness. I might have to switch over to it. Because I cannot figure this out for the life of me. Oh, it says I'm live. It says I'm live. Okay, well... Why is... Oh, it's private. Oh, you're joking. You're joking. Okay. Okay, now is it gonna work? Oh yeah, okay. Alright. Now we may be in business. Maybe. I think we are. Come on. Okay, we're here. We are here. I hope you guys can hear me properly. Hello, Dissect Academy. Good to have you here, bro. You are the first one on. So, yeah, okay. I think all is good. Can everyone hear me okay? I get some confirmation in the chat, please, and then we can get going. Gonna get some Blitz chess going. No particular, like, opening style or anything like that. Normally, you know, we'll do like a Karo Khan versus everything thing, but we're just going to be, well, I'm just going to be playing whatever openings I want. We're going to be pushing 2000 Elo. Hopefully this can become like a consistent series on the channel. Okay, this seems to all be working, so let me know if there's any issues with the stream, guys. I've got my phone set up over there so I can keep an eye on the chat. But let's go! Let's go! Okay. Okay, that's the easiest Karo of my life. We get a free pawn. Hey? What? Is this some like really weird theory that I've never seen? By the way, we're playing 3 minutes plus 0. Because I've had a few people in my most recent video... Actually, no, there was one person in my most recent video who really wanted me to do this time control. So I forgot what your name was. But whoever it is, you better be watching this now or in some kind of replay, because doing this for you, mate. Alright, knight f6, we just have an extra pawn. I think I should get my bishop to f5, and then we can close everything up with e6. Yeah, looks pretty good to me. Even if we have to give this pawn back, that's not the end of the world. We're going to get a nice setup with moves like bishop to d6. And he gives the pawn completely up, which is fine in my books, because I was trying to look at moves like bishop c5, but the knight defends the queen, unfortunately. But I think we just win with bishop to g4 here, because that's just a skewer. I don't know why it took me so long to see that, but there we go. Hello, Manfun Shinde? Shind? I don't know how to pronounce that, but welcome. Okay, if queen takes, we just win another pawn, and then we win a bishop. So this has been a very quick victory, or it should be anyway. Okay, he's not threatening anything. Bishop c5 here is good because we're forcing another trade because the bishop was pinned to the king. Yeah, let's just castle, go rook d8, trade the rooks. There's nothing left in this position, and we're up like 2 pawns and a rook. So yeah, a very easy game here. My opponent is offering me more trades, which I'm obviously going to take. I mean, the game is over, in fairness, but offering trades is definitely a strange way to attempt a fight back. I mean, I thought this would just be an instant move, but apparently not. Apparently not. Also, I've just noticed I'm going to be getting 91 elo if I win this game, which means this series is going to be pretty short in all likelihood. So, yeah. Yeah, that, I didn't really realize that. Okay, let's just go queen d4. Of course, we just want to offer trades. It's kind of annoying because I think I just need to double my rooks up to get on the open d file. But then again, f7 is well defended, so I might just go pawn grabbing, to be honest. If we can win queenside pawns, push a pawn up, deflect his rook, then invade with our rook. Yeah, he's not threatening anything. I mean, g7's defended anyway, like, many times. So, let's just take pawns. Let's just take pawns. There's no threat. Yeah, he's just trying to lift the rook up to make some kind of threat here, but it's, you know, not very scary. Yeah, let's just have more pawns. That is fine by me. Let's go queen a1, check the king, defend g7. And I think we should just play queen to d4, offering a queen trade, and we still defend g7. Okay, yeah, easy as that. Let's double up on the d file, or just get a free pawn. I've got to make sure I don't flag, actually, because I am not used to playing with 0 increment. That is a foreign concept to me. I'm moving the rook over so I can advance this pawn without losing this one. Let's cut the king off. Check. Force the king back up, and then we force a rook trade. Yeah, I mean, not much more needs to be said about this game at this point. Just a very, very weird opening. We just went a pawn up, won an exchange, won another piece because of the tactic on d4 winning the bishop. And yeah, pretty easy cleanup in terms of just exchanging absolutely everything. So yeah, my opponent abandons the game. There we go. I think that's actually a really high accuracy game because my thing says no mistakes, no blunders, no misses, but of course that's not like completely accurate. Let's get into the next one against B4RLI. I think that's Indonesia. I always mix Indonesia and Poland up, so good to get it correct. And now we have the Vienna, which of course we love to see. Absolutely love to see. We want to see knight f6. He doesn't do it. Okay, bishop c4. And yes, for those wondering, I did learn this from the Gotham chess course because, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a great course. Queen g4 here somewhat just completely refutes this variation by black. Queen f6 is an incredibly fun line. After that, you go knight to d5. You sacrifice the f2 pawn. It is not checkmate because queen f1 is defended by the bishop. We move our king voluntarily. And we essentially just have loads and loads of pressure on the black position. We can potentially utilize the f-file. There are circumstances where the queen gets trapped on a square like d4 because we are covering, like, basically all of the queen's escape squares. So that's a very common way to go about this position. Of course, if our queen gets into g7, that could be disastrous for black. But you do have to be careful because at the end of the day, your king is on d1 and lacks a fair bit of protection. So if you're going to make this work, like this position as the white pieces, yes, you have to put pressure on your opponent. And we're also putting time pressure on because 1 minute 54 is not ideal. Well, it's ideal for me, but not for him. What was I saying? I just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, we need to put pressure on him, absolutely. But we need to be very careful with how we go about doing that. I think queen g7 should win. That should win. Because if the knight gets taken, queen takes h8, king e7. Is queen g2 a problem? We can't take with the bishop because queen f1 is mate. So here, 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 here. Pawn takes. It looks dangerous. Maybe that's not the right idea. But I feel like this has to be the move. This just looks correct to me. Maybe after queen g7, knight d5, knight h3, attacking the queen first. Maybe that works. And then we try and get the queen to look away. Although, if queen g7, knight d5, knight h3, knight f6, sorry, queen f6 offering a queen trade, that does not look good at all. We could take here, but then he just takes back. And yeah, no, there has to be something. There has to be something. Because I know this variation is really, really good for white. Rook g8 doesn't work because you take on f6 with the knight first with check, and then the rook loses its defender. So I'm not worried about that. I think, well, obviously I'd like to see a move like rook f8 because then we just win the knight outright. But my opponent is not going to do that in all likelihood. I think knight takes d5 is the only real option that he has. We could have considered knight to c7, but the problem is after king d8, our knight and our queen would have been under attack, so I don't think that works. Let me know what you guys would have done in that position. Like, drop some stuff in the chat. Stop being boring. Of course, there's always ideas of going after f7 here, but if the knight moves, then the queen will be defending f7, so it makes that a bit more difficult. Okay, rook f8 is just a bad move. That's just a bad move. I think taking with the queen, I don't like it because then queen g2. Although, no, then queen c7 is mate. So what am I on about? Okay, yeah. Well, this is just incredibly easy now. Yeah, so you basically have to trade queens, and then we are just up a whole piece. And now, although our king is out in the open, it doesn't really matter because my opponent has no queen, right? Of course, 5 pieces is still a lot of pieces, but they don't really carry the same amount of threat as a queen does. Especially, you know, look at these pieces. They're not doing a whole lot. Let's give a check, because we want to force the king to an awkward square. And we could have a very nice windmill here, because after knight checks, the king has to step onto a dark square, which means that when our knight moves, it will be check. So let's, go to h7, check, attack the rook. I mean, we could go back, but I don't see any better idea after the king goes back to e7. So let's put him out of his misery. Oh my god, I just realized I've got 30 seconds. That's not good. Okay, my opponent blunders again. That's very, very useful. Check. Let's go for c3, kick the bishop out. Okay, let's just move our king. Let's try and play rook to f1. And just give some check. Well, that would be checkmate on the back rank, if he allows it. There we go, easy, because the bishop controls e7. Tessa says, good morning, Kenty. Who's Kenty? I don't know of a Kenty, so you're gonna have to explain. I don't know if you're trying to say Canty, like James Canty. Okay, opponent goes d4. Oh, he goes for a London. Christ. Hey, Porky, it is good to see you, mate. It's been a while. Why are you so quiet in the video comment sections now? It's poor form from you. Oh, Centurion equals Kenty. Is this like an inside joke that I wasn't told about? Like, what? How do you all seem to know but me? Let's go h6. I don't really know what to do in this position, to be honest. I don't want to take and allow my opponent to open up the h-file for his rook. I also can't go for this, because then my bishop hangs. So queen c7 might be the best idea. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. Okay, now the knight is no longer pinned, but let's go knight b7. We can castle whenever we want. We can always go queenside if we prefer as well. To be honest, if we play well, we could actually hit 2000 elo on this episode, like in this live stream, which would be pretty cool. Yeah, I think bishop h5, g4, bishop g6 just loses a pawn, and bishop f5 loses a pawn. So I'm actually just going to have to take. Porky's been taking a break from chess. Bro, it's good to have you back. I hope you're not feeling burned out anymore. Let's castle. Now, I'm not concerned about this battery, because if the bishop goes to h7, for whatever reason this knight moves, then I just shift my king. And my opponent goes queenside. Okay. Okay, let's start breaking stuff open. Let's take with the knight, put pressure on the bishop. We have a lot of control over e4. And hello, Tess has also just ended a break. Okay, what is it with everyone taking breaks from chess? Is just coincidence, or maybe everyone's too sick of the chess drama? Maybe that's what it is. Or maybe people just had too much time over the summer and played too much chess, got kind of burned out. To be fair, I took a bit of a break from uploading because a similar thing sort of happened to me. So it's very good to be back, for sure. Alright. I mean, our knights are really, really nice, but we now need to try and create something. c4 I'm a little bit concerned about, so I should probably shift my queen. But I'm not sure where to. c4, that's the issue. I don't want to allow knight here, though. Maybe queen c7. Control the e5 square still. Get on the c file. And then just put pressure on the c pawn, so if c4 is played, that's more risky now. Okay, g4. That is bold. That is very bold. I don't know if it does a whole lot, but it looks aggressive. Let's go a6, b5. Maybe this is a little bit slow. But if g5, I'm just going to play h5. I don't think my opponent can really break through there. Tessa was tilting too much when playing against the French. I cannot blame you. I assume you mean the opening and not the people, though. Okay, focus. I only have a minute left. And again, no increment. f3, that is interesting. I could try and jump into g3. I think I'm going to do it. Yeah, don't worry. I know you meant the opening. I was just having a bit of a laugh. This isn't obvious. I'm gonna go queen a5, target a2, and prepare b4. I don't know where my attack really is, in all honesty. But, I mean, knight e4 is a move that is playable because of this. So, knight to a4 as well. Ooh, okay. That doesn't do anything yet. Let's go knight a4. We have ideas of knight to c3. I don't know if it does a whole lot, but... Okay. I don't know why I didn't expect that. That came as a shock to me for some reason. Let's go h5 and try and block things up. If g6, it's annoying for sure, but okay, that's fine. That's fine. Do I give this check? I don't know. I'm going to rotate my knight to e4. Just so it can try and help out in the defense a bit. Again, I don't really know if that's a good use of time, but we are very low on, like, actual game clock time now. Which is no bueno. No bueno. I have ideas of rook b8 followed by knight there. Oh my god, I don't know what to do here. I think I have to take. Let's go rook b8. I need to try and put pressure here. Ah, that's a good move. That's a good move. And I'm almost out of time. Oh, no. He just blundered a knight and I didn't even see. Damn it. Okay, I took way too long in the opening there. I think I had a very nice position, but I just let it slip because I ran out of time. So let's try not to do that. I'm actually going to play c4 here and go for the accelerated Panov. Someone in I think in the Discord server, I forget who it was, but they were talking about this this line because they shared a game from it, and I was like, yeah, as a Karo Khan player, playing against the accelerated Panov is actually really annoying. So I figured I should probably give it a go myself. I don't know the theory, but I'm going to assume queen b3 is decent. Of course, we have the isolated d-pawn here, but the point is to try and play around it really actively. Okay, we just... Whoa. Bishop a3 looks horrific for black. Because you just traded off your dark square bishop. You now can't castle. Okay, that is an idea. I suppose we can always go queen a4, bishop d7. Don't love it. I might just drop the bishop back to d3 to avoid all that. Besides, this is probably a more useful diagonal than targeting the knight. Oh, okay, so knight e7 to block the bishop. That is interesting. Let's just develop. I'm going to let him castle, because this is still going to be annoying for him. We're going to castle ourselves. I don't know if I could have stopped him anyway. That's an interesting move. Because if knight g6, then the rook hangs. Although you can just play h6, so I don't even know why I was considering that. That was a waste of time. Okay. b5. I don't know what that does. Don't know. Let's go rook d1, because I want to drop the bishop back to b1. And get the bishop eyeing up h7, but allowing my queen to get in front of the bishop. Okay, c3 is under attack. Ah, that's actually annoying. I could always go bishop to b2, but I don't want to. I don't really know what to do here. I think I'm going to have to play rook d3, even though it blocks my bishop off. I don't know. I don't want to go bishop b2. I want to put this knight on e5. Just to apply a lot of pressure to the light squares. And then, oh, to be fair, we can maybe lift the rook over. That might be useful. Okay, that's a good move. Stops a lot of my ideas, which is very annoying, and I missed it for some reason. Could still go for this. Yeah, I'm going to do it anyway, because I need to try and open up the third rank. Let's take with the rook. Okay. So now the rook can help in the attack and in the defense of c3. Induce a weakness. My dark square bishop could come alive against that at some point, but it's not obvious yet how. I could try and get my queen over. I might bring the queen to g4 and then try and play like rook h5, playing on the fact that the pawn would be pinned. I think my opponent just missed that the rook was still defending the pawn. I think they just missed it. There's no tactic here. Yeah, they resign. Okay, well that is very, very good news. Okay, we're back on the climb. Up to 1461. Another Caro. I'm going to go for this weird opening gambit that I like to play here. This is way more viable against the French. But okay, he doesn't accept the gambit. This is still a very good position for white. Oh no, d4 isn't the right idea. d4 is not the right idea. It's still fine, but it's not correct. Yeah, queen g4. And then knight f3. The bishop normally comes to e2. I think this looks pretty good. This looks pretty good to me. One of the points of this is that we have a lot of pressure on g7, and because the knight can't come to f6 to attack the queen, it's difficult to get rid of this pressure, because when you play a move like that, although if c3 then the knight hangs, that's annoying. We might have to go knight d2. We might have to go knight d2. If the bishop takes, we won't be able to castle, but we can just castle by hand. I don't think that's too big of an issue. And then we can play moves like bishop d3. Okay, he takes there. Interesting. I was considering this, but then knight to c2 comes a check. Alright, Tessa, I hope you have a great day, and you can catch up on the rest of the live stream later, if you're not bored already, that is. But yeah, have a good one. Alright, I'm not really sure how to evaluate this position. I mean, it looks decent enough. I'm going to go c3 here to kick the bishop away. And yeah, this bishop isn't great, but, you know, it is what it is. Let's go knight f3 to support the dart squares. That might not have been the best idea. I think I should take with the knight if he takes. Let's go bishop d3. I think I should take with the knight and get some pressure on e6, potentially play f5 in the future to crack open the king side. Let's castle. I know that this pawn would hang currently, but it's just an idea. I think everything points towards f5, but I'm just going to prepare it a little bit more. I need to move my king so that the knight isn't pinned. The bishop's also aligned with the queen, which is annoying. Let's get the king out of the way first. If they're there, that's not obvious how we actually make something of that. Maybe we lift the rook. Maybe we lift the rook, because we do have pressure here. I'm expecting knight g6 to block off the file. And then I think I might just go h4 to try and play h5. I think that's the best way to go about it. Ooh, g6, okay. That is committal. Let's drop the bishop back to b1 first so that c3 is defended by the rook. That is exactly the same as the last game, which is hilarious. Like the rook defending whilst attacking the king side. Okay, c3 is now actually hanging, so I think I might just lift my other rook up to help in the defense. Very, very weird position. I'd love to play f5, but okay, that's just a free pawn. Or is it? If here... Ooh, that is tricky. That is really tricky. I don't think I can take. Because... And also the knight would hang at the end of it. So I'm actually just going to go queen d1 to defend the knight. But I'm still going to keep the pressure on the pawn. Because something could still happen there. I also open up the opportunity to play f5 now. Because my queen isn't aligned with the bishop. And this pawn is still pinned to the king. So if f5, something like takes. If bishop takes, then bishop takes. Maybe we take the bishop first. I'm not sure. But basically, that could lead to some problems for black. And we're up on time for once, so that is fantastic. If you've just joined the stream, pretty self-explanatory. We're going to be trying to hit 2000 Blitz Elo as quickly as we can. And that is about it. Okay, moves the bishop, alright. I'm not sure how to continue this attack. I'm really not sure. Let's go. Maybe just some sacrificing opportunities to open the bishop up. Okay, that's maybe a good move. Huh. I'm not sure how to handle this position. And I'm getting lower and lower on time, so that's not good. That is not good. Oh my days. Go away. Go away. I might try and put the knight on g5. Because c3 is a problem. Okay, let's drop back. Let's regroup and launch another attack. Because the black king is definitely weak. I'm just not sure how we're actually gonna take it, like actually take down the structure around it. But our opponent is having to think a lot right now, and we can actually take advantage of the time control, because look how low on time he is. Yes, I'm low on time, but he doesn't have a plan. Neither do I. But, you know, take what you can get. I actually don't know what to do. And now I'm low on time now. Okay, fantastic. And then we're gonna go g4. g4, okay, this is our way in. This is our way in. And does he have the time to defend himself? I don't think so. Let's get the rook on the g-file. This is hopefully going to be too much for him to think about. Okay, let's take en passant. That's forced, obviously. Check. And okay, my opponent runs out of time. Whew. Wow, okay. That was that was a very stressful game. I felt like... I didn't mean to do that. I felt like we had a far better position, but I just did not know how to take advantage of it. Like, here I'm plus 1.3, but I wasn't sure how to actually go about it. And to be fair, I think once I've realised around here that I was losing time on my opponent, I just had to try and make something happen to make him think. And I mean, it worked. It worked. Rook to h3 was actually probably better to try and get into h8. But no matter. No matter. A win is a win. I'm not going to complain about it. Let's go again. I don't know how much longer this live stream is going to go on for, but if you are currently watching live, please let me know what you think of this format. And if you're new to the channel, then hello, it's great to have you here. Okay. Well, this is kind of a boring Vienna-type position, but f4 is always a move. The problem with f4 is that we undouble his pawns, so I don't want to play it too preemptively. Although, I don't know what else we can do, really. Without our light-squared bishop, we lose a lot of pressure. Oh, that is annoying. That's really annoying, actually. Let's go f4. e4 might be good for black. No, he takes. Okay, I think that benefits us. Let's take with the knight to try and get into e6. If here, 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 here... I don't think that works. Yeah, I think we have to retreat our knight, unfortunately. Because once the knight takes the rook, we have nothing. Okay, there we go. Does this work? Okay, he doesn't go for it, thankfully. But I feel like that actually worked. Let's get rid of the bishop. That might have been a perfect Greek gift moment for my opponent, but he missed it. Fortunately for us, now we get rid of his strong dark-squared bishop. We're just up a clean exchange. Okay. Queen d2, let's get our other rook involved. He's eyeing up the e3 square, which is smart. And I was about to blunder mate in one. That would not have been good. This is very annoying, but I think after knight e3, we can just play knight f5 and force a trade. Okay, that is a smart move. Just adding more pressure there. Oh, I was about to blunder a queen again. Come on, let's not do that. Let's go queen g5. I want to try and put pressure on his king side and potentially get the knight involved. We could force a trade. I'm going to do it. I don't think I'm blundering anything stupid here. If knight takes, rook takes, knight e3. Okay. Interesting. Can we give this check? I think king h8. I don't know if that does anything. Ooh, maybe you have rook f7. I think we have rook f7 there. That is nice. And I think that's game over. Because we're threatening to take g7 with checkmate. And, of course, if you take the rook, we take with the knight, the king moves, and we just up a queen. So, yeah, nice little tactic there. Because although we were up in exchange, my opponent's knights are so annoying to deal with. So it's great that we managed to get the queen off the board, because this was not an easy... This wouldn't have been an easy conversion. Let's just give this check and then come back to f5, because we threaten mate and we threaten a knight trade. So my opponent is going to have to trade with me. There we go. I assume this knight's going to come back in, yeah. We could sack our rook for the knight, but I don't really want to give him a passed pawn. I don't see the point in that. So queen b5 looks very nice. Queen b5, c6. Yeah, but then we just take on b7. The idea is that if you take on c2, then you get mated. Okay, b6 doesn't do anything. I mean, it defends b7, sure, but now we can play c3. And you still can't move the knight because you will get checkmated. So we're going to undermine the defense of the knight, which I don't really know how my opponent responds to. I'm not sure what he should do here. By the way, I see 13 of you watching. Get chatting in the chat. Come on, boys. Okay, that's another really nice game. Like, the computer says 000. I don't know how accurate that is, but hey, we'll take it. Let's go for another one. I don't know how high we're going to go in this episode. Maybe we'll push towards like 1600 or 1700 today and then leave it there, because I suppose episodes in the future are going to take longer as we get higher and higher in rating. Just because I'll lose way more. I mean, I've lost today, so that doesn't bode well, but it's all good. It's all good. Okay. Let's go e6. Make sure c5 is defended. This is a very typical advanced Caro structure, which I say it's very typical, and then I kind of forget how to handle it, which I think knight e7 is the idea. I know I'm sacking this pawn, but I'm pretty sure this is the idea. I may be wrong, though. a6 might have been better. Rook c8 is always a move. Queen b6 is potentially a move. Let's bring the knight to f5, put pressure on the bishop. Our bishop now defends c5. If h3, we're not going to be able to retreat because of g4 with a fork, although right now the bishop is hanging, so that wouldn't be a problem. And that would attack the queen anyway. Let's go bishop to e7. Let's just stay nice and simple. I just want to get castled and unpin the knight. If my opponent takes, I don't really care. We just open up the b file, which is probably useful. Okay, queen to a4. Let's just cat. Well, I was about to just completely blunder a pawn. That would have been very silly. I'm not sure what to do here. I mean, rook c8, we're going to be losing a pawn. So maybe queen c7. Maybe queen c7 is the move, rather than queen b6. And then castle. I feel like this is a good way to go about the position. Just keep the pressure here. Okay, he takes. Do we take with the queen? I feel like we should. If we get this queen trade, I think this structure is beneficial to us. I think it benefits us because we have the only semi-open file in our hands. And, I mean, we also have the bishop pair, which could be useful. If he ever takes here, we can take the bishop and then take the pawn back, so I'm not concerned. Okay. I think we just have to take now. But that's fine, we made him waste a move. C4 is tempting. C4 is very tempting, but it's also unnecessary. Because again, if he takes, then we take and then take. So let's continue putting on the pressure. I might just go rook b7 and rook f to b8. Because, okay, g4, wow, that's committal. Let's take the bishop. I don't need to commit this pawn. I can just leave it where it is for now. I don't need to do anything. I can take if I want, but then I will be helping him open up files for himself. If something like this, then the c6 pawn could become weak. So let's not give my opponent anything here. What I'm going to do is try and squeeze him on the queen side. Make it so that he can't move. I'm going to play rook to b3 to open up potential tactics with pins on the b pawn against the rook. And I actually don't know if there's a whole lot that white can do about it. I don't think he can really do anything. I think he's just destined to lose a pawn here. Because after rook b3, how do you defend both of these while defending this? Or defend the rook, but you can't defend the rook. So, okay, yeah, this is very, very good. No, c4 would be a bad move because of knight to b4. Opponent being tricky, I like it. Well, good from him, but I think I just take here because you can't take back because you lose the knight. So the situation is probably getting worse for him. I like the idea of knight d3 to defend b2 and potentially play knight to b4, but you're just adding more pins to the position. Yeah, that doesn't really do anything because I can just take or take. Let's take on c3, I think, because my bishop is still attacking a3. If you take back, then I win the rook. There's no back rank issues because he's not on the open files anyway. But I can also just retreat the bishop to f8 if I ever need to. It'd be lovely to play a move like g6 to make sure I don't get back ranked, but there's no risk of it right now. Okay. Part of me wants to play c5, but it's also not necessary. Oh, is bishop to g5 just really problematic? Oh my god, I've got 18 seconds. I didn't even realize. Okay, speedrun time. This is supposed to be a speedrun, but now it's a proper speedrun because I have no time on the clock. Let's take. Oh my god, I just blundered an exchange. Why did I do that? I don't know. Why did I do that? Oh my god. What am I doing? I'm throwing. My opponent didn't take it. I'm just giving a pawn for no reason. Great. My bishop's in a bit of a weird situation, but we're okay. I am playing this horrifically. Horrifically. And I've got 6 seconds. Oh my. What am I doing? My opponent's using way too much time, though, which is great. Let's take. Let's take. Let's take. Let's go g6 to give my king an escape. Now we're up 2 pawns. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go here, which is checkmate with a pawn. I could just feel it coming. I could just feel it coming there. He did not have to do this. But there was no other reason for him to have put his king on g4 other than to self-mate. Okay, we turned the burners on a bit there. That was very lucky. Very lucky. My opponent made my life way too easy by playing knight to f2. I don't know why he did that, because it allowed me to exchange everything very easily. Get some easy pre-moves in. And then, I mean, even if he didn't do that, I don't know what else he could do, but let's say, I don't know, rook c7. I can still give this check if I want. I can start advancing this pawn. Apparently I've got mate in 4 here. I'm assuming with this, and then something like this. I don't know how that actually... Oh, just... Okay, that would be a very pretty mate. But we get the job done. Get the job done. I'm going to do 1 or 2 more games here, depending on how my stress levels can hold, because I am not good at this no increment stuff. Really not. Okay, we have the exchange caro. Very, very boring from my opponent. I rated it in my tier list higher than I would have liked to. If you haven't seen that video, check it out on my channel. Very recently uploaded. What? That has to be a mouse slip. No one in their right mind plays that. What? I'm assuming this is the idea? This is a very weird Greek gift. I don't think it works. I think this saves me. It's actually equal material. What? This is equal material. Chess is so weird, man. Okay. Let's just take some space, I suppose. We have a very active king for no reason. Go rook 8. Oh, I just blundered. Okay. Okay, we're doing another game then. We're doing another game. Oh, that's horrific. That is horrific. How do I want to do this? Let's just go e5. Let's just take some space. Bishop e7. We're going to go bishop to e6 at an opportune moment. Queen c7 to defend the e5 pawn. Bishop e6. Probably knight d7. Let's go h6 to challenge the bishop. Let's go knight d7. We don't have to castle either side yet. We can decide later. Let's go a5 just to take some space. I'm kind of trying to play this game just quickly and off of intuition, because I don't do enough of that, and it means that I get into very low time situations for no reason. d4 is tempting. Normally I would wait a bit longer, but I feel like this just opens things up, and that I don't think is good for my opponent's pawn structure. I think that's just a net negative. Okay, let's castle. Let's push just to clamp down. I think c5 is probably the idea. Okay, my opponent strikes first. Interesting. Let's take. I'm not letting him in anywhere, I don't think. Bishop c4. We can maybe play b5. Rook to c7. Also looks good. This bishop's not participating because of this e4 pawn, which is why I did what I did. Did I calculate this exact variation? Of course not, but it just makes his bishop a lot worse. Okay, bishop b4, offering a trade. We could decline it. We could also play a move like knight c5 to block it, or we could play a move like bishop c5 to trade on our terms. We can't ignore it because it's not actually defended right now. If bishop c5 does block this off, though, does block that off. Interesting move. I'm going to go bishop c5, and then I'm going to play a move like b5, I think. If my opponent takes me, probably take with the queen. Probably with the queen. Let's go b5. This is a very typical structure, and it's very nice because my opponent has no b or d pawns to challenge my bishop. Whoa. That just loses a pawn, no? That's just a free pawn, bruv. And you've got to take here first, because if I take here with the bishop, you lose an exchange. So the e5 pawn is well defended, the b5 pawn is well defended. We're up a clean pawn, and we can probably just take on e4 if we want as well. Are there any tactics? I don't think so. Is it worth risking it? I don't know. I don't know. We could just retreat. But this is also a very nice pawn. Oh no, there's problems on a8. What am I on about? Okay, I can't do that. That would be a very bad idea. So let's just go back to c5. Make sure that e5 is properly defended. And we're up a pawn. Let's regroup, maybe take over the d file. I think that makes a lot of sense. Again, this structure is very well held together. e5 is a potential weakness, so we do have to be aware of that. And we probably don't want to take this e4 pawn anytime soon and open up my opponent's bishop. That is potentially going to be a very bad idea. So f6, as much as I hate to play it, I think it probably needs to be played. And then what we're going to do is drop the queen back to c7 to defend the rook, and then we're going to move the knight. We're going to move the knight, and then we're going to offer a massive trade on the open d file. I think knight f8 into e6 is probably the best idea. So let's do that. Offer a big trade. My bishop on c4 stands very strong. Just holding together the queen side. It puts some pressure on my opponent's position. Nothing insane, but the knight isn't threatening anything. It's a very nice piece, but it's not threatening anything. That's a good move. Opening up the queen's defense. Let's go rook d3 because I want to put a queen behind it. Oh, that's a bit of a blunder. Or is it? Did my opponent blunder? The bishop's undefended. I don't think my opponent has a good enough check. The knight, because of the geometry, can't attack my king. We're up a full piece now. Knight g6 should solve all of my defensive problems. My opponent gives us his queen, and that's the game. Whenever he decides to resign. Although I'm very low on time, so let's not flag. Check. And then mate. Wait, why is that not mate? Oh, because he can do that. Well, it's going to be mate. It's going to be. He does have that. But then we have this going for this. Okay. See this? I don't think we can stalemate him because he can't forcefully give us the knight. Taking the knight would have been stalemate. Whoa. Not gonna lie, I didn't even realise that. I was just fixated on checkmate, which is very fortunate for me. Okay. Didn't want to go to f4 there, because if we went knight to f4, and then knight takes... Oh no, we could have just taken on g4. The reason I didn't is because I was scared of something like this, which would have been stalemate. Yeah, that's just stalemate. I don't know why the computer's giving mating 1 there. But yeah, okay. A nice game. I think the middle game we definitely had an advantage. Computer gives us minus 2.3, which is very nice. But it was a difficult position to handle, and my opponent made the best out of a bad situation. But bishop f1, although I initially thought it was a blunder, turned out to be a blunder from my opponent. The reason I played rook to d3 was to try and play a move like queen d7, so that I could control the d-file. Here I didn't want to do this and give my opponent the d-file. I suppose I got to go on queen d7 though, defended by the knight to challenge the queen, which probably would have been a simpler way to simplify the position. And this probably is just an easy conversion for black because of the weakness of the queenside pawns and the e-pawn. But whatever. Whatever. Okay, I think... Okay, we're on 52 minutes. Let me play one more game. One more game, and then I'm going to be off, because I've got a lot of work to get done today. See if we can hit 1600. Oh, the Scandi. Ugh, okay, let's go for this bishop b5 line. I'm a big fan of this. I do not know the theory that well, but okay, my opponent lets us get the pawn completely, and this looks like a really bad version of the gambit from my opponent, because this pawn is just insanely weak. I suppose you open up the f-file, but you can't get the bishop to g4 very easily. So I don't think it works properly. I do have to be careful. I think e5 is the idea, so I'm going to go d4 to try and stop it. Go bishop g5. I've got to be careful about potential tactics on h2. Okay, that's a good move. Making my life very difficult. I'm going to go knight to b5 to put pressure on the bishop and on c7, because if this bishop comes off the board, then my defensive duties get a lot easier. Yeah, let's do it. c3 looks pretty good, although I don't really want to allow this. So I'm actually just going to snap the knight off the board, I think. I'm just going to snap it off the board. Let's go c3. And now we just try and consolidate the defense. If we can do that, then we should be fine. No, I don't think that works. Let's go bishop to e2. This is kind of passive, definitely. But I'm not really sure how to trade pieces off here, because I don't think that my plans in this position are all that obvious. Oh, this could be a bit of a problem. Yeah, I've just allowed that for no reason. Although, knight e5, and hello, hello. That looks good. That looks really good. Let's do it. I think he has to move the queen and then we can take the bishop. Wait, can we go bishop to g4? And skewer? I think we can. I think we can. Which means that we just win the piece outright, rather than just exchanging the pieces, which I would have been happy to do, but this is even better. I wouldn't be surprised if my opponent resigns now, because, I mean, I don't see how he comes back. Okay, he takes that instead. I suppose that's viable, but everything's getting exchanged now, and we're just up a queen for a knight. Let's just put pressure on stuff. I mean, knight to f3 isn't actually a threat, but I don't want to allow it anyway. So let's go f4 so that if knight f3 the rook can take. We also just attack the knight, of course. d6 is defended by the rook, so don't hang a queen. Yeah, let's just take on b7. I don't care if he wins the f-pawn. He can't take it anyway, actually. Yeah, he can't take it, because he just gets back-ranked. To be fair, even if he wasn't going to get back-ranked there, I might have just sacked the rook for the knight anyway, because, I mean, the knight is an attacking piece, and I'm up so much material, I might as well just get rid of it, but if you take back here, then, I mean, you just get mated in two. So, obvious back-rank, but it works, tactics go in our favour, and we hit 1600 elo, so I think I'm going to leave it there for today's video. For those of you who watched live, thank you very much. It was great to have you. And those of you watching the video replay, catch the next live. I do not have a specific time for it or anything, but it'll be fun. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Check out whatever video appears up here now, because, I don't know, it'll probably be interesting.